Here's my third principle of discipline. Discipline should be under authority. And this is really, really important because so often we hold ourselves up as the rule givers and the law keepers. And that's a lie. Even if I made up the rules, even if I made up the wording of the rules, when we speak, you listen, we command, you obey. I made up the wording, but the rule giver is God. And if I ever hold myself up as the ultimate authority, I'm lying to the students. And this is really important at a really practical level. As you small group leaders or assistants are coaching and disciplining kids, you can draw them aside and say, look, what is the rule? And suddenly you divert their attention to the rule, which is a higher standard than you as the leader. And you say, look, I didn't give this rule. Mr. Andrew gave this rule, or the people who wrote the curriculum from My Life Matters gave this rule, or you just work your way up the chain. Here at the school, the principal expects that we are keeping these rules. You move right on up the chain. Ultimately, we're breaking God's rules. Honor your father and mother, or elsewhere, it says honor the authorities, obey the king, serve God. We're breaking rules of love God and love your neighbor. We want to give out discipline while remaining under authority. And here's what's really beautiful. As you remain under authority, specifically under God's authority, you get to move around the table. Instead of sitting across the table, you're the judge, they're the victim, they're the defendant, instead of that, you get to move around and sit with them and say, both of us are rule breakers. And I'm here to tell you, the consequence of rule breaking is X, Y, and Z. Be under authority. Help bring them to the position where they see the rule they broke and the authority that they sinned against. And sometimes they might not see past the fact that they sinned against, the director at their school. But my prayer is that they would see all the way to the truth, which is that their sin is an offense against God and it wounds other people. So, principle number 1, your discipline should flow from relationship. Number 2, you should be motivated by love. Number 3, you must be under authority. Specifically, God's authority. Don't hold yourself up as the authority, but move on up the chain of command so that you can show how you need to follow God's commands as well.